Hello, everyone. My name is Adrian. I'm 27 years old and I am a trans guy. It's not a secret, but I don't really talk about it much anymore on my socials or here on YouTube. I do have one video up that does mention the fact that I'm trans, but when I was beginning my transition, I did have an entire Instagram dedicated to documenting my transition and connecting to other trans people. And I do still have that account, but I became inactive after a certain point. And then eventually I deleted my other, like my main Instagram account. And then I turned that transition account into my main account, basically, and kind of like rebranded it. And so I'm not really Anyway, yeah, I deleted the main Instagram account because I was like, actually, I don't really these people kind of just piss me off. So that's why I did that. And I haven't really been talking about being trans or really I don't post a lot there anyway to begin with. So anyway, why am I talking about this? Great question. Well, obviously, it kind of seems like for some time I've been just not talking about it. It seems like I don't talk about it, that I don't want to talk about it, maybe. And why would I not want to talk about it? Because in my day-to-day life, I don't want to talk about it. I don't. Not in my everyday life. I'm not thinking about it. And it's definitely not something I want other people to be thinking about around me. And frankly, I hate talking to cis people about being trans. It's not fun to me. I never wanted to take on the responsibility of being some sort of advocate or something. I don't think everyone has to do that. And I feel like sometimes people think that you have to, like you have to, if you're going to be online and you are part of a certain community or something, that you have to be an advocate. And like, I just don't think that that's fair. It's not the calling of every single queer person to be the spokesperson for the LGBTQ community or our rights, especially when you got enough chaos going on in your life. Like I said, it's not exactly the safest thing to be doing. And it's not wrong for some people to want to keep their peace like that. But that being said, I know that was a bit of a tangent. I know that part of my journey is speaking my truth and helping other people. And though there have been a couple areas where I've wanted to do that more with like those other areas that I've been focusing on, I'm recognizing that this is also an important area where I can have an impact, where I can help other people like me. So I'm not going to hold myself back from speaking about this. The transgender community is a huge topic right now. It has been for quite a while, and it's become an increasingly popular topic. And so I'm coming to the conclusion that it is actually a disservice for me not to speak up about my own experience. I, don't really want to look back and feel like I was just being a coward for not being visible at such a crucial period of time in the world. There is so much misinformation out there to create fear and division and to demonize and make people hate the trans community. All this stuff about forcing kids to be trans and forcing surgeries and hormones and on kids is not happening. This is fear mongering. Like 10-year-olds are not getting gender affirming surgeries. That's not happening. And they're not going on hormones either. There are age limits for these things. And you always need parental consent if you're under the age of 18. And there's not even as many people, probably as you seem to think, under the age of 18 who are even on hormones. A lot of the time, all we're talking about when it comes to kids being able to express their gender is simply allowing them to wear the clothes that they want to wear, to have the haircut they want, to use the name and pronouns that they want. And there's literally no harm in that. What does cause harm is making children hate themselves because you tell them that the way that they feel is wrong and you don't support them. Lack of support is what kills people, not transitioning. When trans people are able to transition in whatever way they seem fit, because it's not even all about hormones and surgery, because not everybody chooses to do that. So when you can transition and have support, your mental health improves. Because all we're talking about is allowing people to be authentic. And also, getting access to gender affirming care was never as easy as people seem to think. And in fact, in some places, it's quite difficult. Many places will require some sort of therapy and a diagnosis of gender dysphoria, letters from a therapist to get on hormones, and definitely for surgery. I don't think there's anywhere where you can get gender affirming surgery without a letter from a therapist or doctor or someone like this. Just had to address that stuff because I couldn't help myself, because all these arguments people will use to justify taking away the rights of trans people just aren't even true. And then obviously they will also do things like take an isolated incident and project that onto the entire trans community as well, to make you think that there's some massive widespread problem. And I think I have to stop myself because I really could go on and on about this, and this is not really where I was trying to take the video. Though I guess I also was never really entirely sure what direction that I was going from the beginning. I really just wanted to let it be known that I guess I'm making myself visible, just in case this is another way that I can help people in some way. My purpose is bigger than me. That I know. I can't be selfish. It's my mission to help other people in whatever way that I can. So again, I'm Adrian, 27, freshly 27, and I am transgender. I knew that I was a boy as far back as I can consciously remember, but I kept it a secret for the majority of my life so far. I didn't tell anyone at all until I was in high school. Well, because honestly, I didn't even know that there was anything I could do about it before then. I just knew that, people talk about, everybody's journey is different, right? And there's a lot of people that are like, well, yeah, there were always signs, but I didn't really know. There were no words for it. But there was absolutely no confusion for me. I was like 5 years old, going to bed every night, praying to God that I would wake up a boy. Like, it doesn't get more clear than that. But it did. But when it came to when I was actually coming out, it did get a bit more complicated because obviously I lived life a certain way for a long time. And yeah, but I didn't tell anyone until I was in high school, but I still didn't tell anybody in real life. Like, I didn't officially begin to transition until I was 21, and my family didn't disown me or anything, but it's still something that revealed to me or further showed me just how conditional their love is for me. And it's not the worst experience someone can have, but it's certainly not one that I prefer. I never really belonged in this family, and we never truly got along to begin with. But being trans does not help the situation at all. But it does make it easier for me to give less of a fuck about how they feel about anything else I decide to do with my life. So I guess there's that. Because the thing is, I don't think my family realizes that our relationship isn't the way that it is because I'm trans. Like, I think, I mean, my grandparents especially feel like, oh, I came out as trans and now I don't talk to them. No, like, was, I've been isolating myself at least since I was like in middle school. And why do you think that is? Because none of them were very welcoming. It was fucked up way before they even knew that. And honestly, that I think has a lot to do with me being autistic, because all my life I just felt like, God, why do I feel like my family actually just hates everything about me? But I guess the biggest thing that did change was, at least before I came out, I thought that my grandmother kind of understood me. I thought that she was on my side. But then I came out as trans, and she's actually the one who said the most hurtful things to me out of all of them. I will say I have my sister. My sister hasn't ever made me feel bad about anything, but the truth is we have never really been that close. I don't really feel like I know my sister that well. We didn't get along when we were younger. We do now, and I love her with all my heart. Like I would do anything for her, and she's the only one in my family who actually does seem to love me unconditionally. And this is just another thing that shows you that people don't transition lightly. Like, why the fuck would anyone choose to make their life harder in this way? And they say everyone is trans now, but why is it that still the only place a lot of people find support is online? Like, there's still, I mean, now, like with the really young generation, maybe there's more. But I mean, when I was and still a little bit after, like, this is not something where still people don't feel safe coming out, you know? Trans people are still surrounded by people who hate them and find it hard to find support. So I ask you, why would anyone choose that unless it was their authentic truth? The biggest regret people have often when they die is that they didn't have the courage to fully be themselves and go after what they really wanted. Everyone's like, I wish I would have had the courage to just do this, but I was afraid of what everybody thought. We don't do this because it's easy and cool. We do it because it would be such a miserable life to never have the courage to be yourself. Transitioning is the bravest thing that I've ever done. There was a time that I thought I would just take this truth to my grave and forever wish I had the courage. I am a Scorpio and an introvert. The last thing I ever wanted was people knowing my business. But when you begin transitioning, you have no way of hiding. So I just want to ask again, why the fuck would I choose this? It's not a luxury, it's a necessity. Transitioning is also the best thing that I ever did for myself, especially getting top surgery. I know this is the expression that I was meant to live out in this world. This is my unique expression of the divine in this earthly plane. And it is assisting me in bringing exactly what is necessary in this world. I have so many things to teach humanity, and all I really need to do is exist. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed. Comment down below, and I will see you in the next video. Also, if you would like to support me even more, you can make a donation to my Ko-fi, which I will have linked in the description. It helps me out a lot. Thank you.